Hello students, welcome to class 6. Our very first chapter in science is food. Where does it come from? As we all are being aware that for the survival of a living organism, energy is required and we get that energy from the food we take or eat. So here in this chapter, we are going to understand what are the sources of food. Along with that, how animals are categorized according to their eating habits. But before that, first of all, we are going to understand what is food. Food is a nutritious substance taken by human beings to maintain their life and growth. As I already told you that food gives us energy. So from the morning we start eating food, like we are having our breakfast in the morning, then lunch in afternoon and having dinner in night. So could you observe a pattern in between them? Yes, there is a time gap. So when we are eating our food after a time gap, then that is called a meal, or we can say meal is a regular food eaten at a particular time of the day. Now observe this picture students. In this picture you get multiple food items like vegetable curries, breads, rice, sweets, buttermilk, lemonade, chutneys, multiple food items. But could you ever saw these food items naturally occurred? No, they are not naturally occurred. They are being prepared by us. So the material required to prepare a food item, that is called your ingredient. For example, if we take an example of boiled rice, so how we can prepare a boiled rice? We need water and raw rice, which are being putting together and heated up, then we get the boiled rice. So what are the ingredients of boiled rice? Ingredients of boiled rice are water and rice. Now comes what are the functions of food. Basically, it provides us energy to do work. Second, it helps in repairing of worn out and injured body parts. Third, it protects us from diseases. And last, it helps in overall growth of the body. So we can say that for the sustainability of a life of an organism, food is required. Now comes the sources of food. There are majorly two sources of food, plant sources and the animal sources. But before that, we have to understand how plants make their food. Basically, plants are producers, which means they can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So, when the food is prepared by the plant, some part of that food is utilized by the plant, and the remaining part, or we can say the remaining food, gets stored to the particular part of the plant, and these parts are used by us as a source of food. I give you an example, like generally plants store it remaining food in stem, seed, flower, leaf, root or fruit part of it. So we are utilizing them as a source of food. I give you some example like ginger, onion, potato and sugarcane are the stem part of the plant which we are using as a source of food. Similarly, carrot, turnip, beetroot and sugar beet are some of the root part of the plant which we are using as a source of food. Along with that, all the fruits which we are eating, it may be cherry, strawberry, apple, watermelon, banana or pomegranate, all these fruits are the remaining stored food of the plant which we are using as a source of food. Also, some plants store their remaining food in its flower part, like your cauliflower and your broccoli. These are the flower part of the plant which are being used by us as a source of food. Even leaves also contain the remaining stored food of the plant. For example, coriander, spinach, red spinach and fenugreek, which again used by us as a source of food. Last, seeds also contain the stored food of the plant. Like cereals, they are the rich source of carbohydrates which gives us a huge amount of energy to us. Along with that, pulses which gives a huge amount of protein diet to us. Next, nuts also having a huge amount of carbohydrates and proteins. Spices and oil seeds which are being used to drain out the oil from them. So all these parts of the plant, it may be your stem, root, leaf, flower, seed or the we can say the fruit part of the plant. They contain the remaining food of the plant, and that food is utilized by us as a source of food. Now I had given you an activity, as I already told you about the parts of the plant which are being used by us as a source of food. Here I had given you the name of the plants. You have to tell me to which part of the plant we are eating as a source of food. Like maize. Maize is a cereal, so we are eating the seed part of the maize plant. Next, cauliflower. Which part of the plant we are eating in cauliflower? We are eating the which part? Yes, the flower part of the plant. Next, carrot. Which part of the carrot we are eating? We are eating the which part? Yes, the root part. Next, potato. We are eating the stem part of the potato. Cabbage. We are eating the leaf part of the plant. And in mustard oil, we are eating the seed part, that is your oil seed part of the plant. Also I had given the answers below the page. You can observe them from here also. Next comes the food which we are getting from the animal sources. So first of all, we considered about the milk. From which animals we get milk? Generally from the cow, buffalo, goat, camel. These are the major animals which provides us milk. So what are the other food items we prepared from milk? We are making paneer, curd, cheese. Multiple sweets are being prepared with the help of milk. Honey is also an animal product which we get from the honeybee. So there is a culture known as your apiculture, which means that rearing of honeybees to get the honey. Next, poultry farms provides us two major animal products like egg and meat. Generally, hen and ducks are being used for the eggs, and for the meat we are using animals like hen, sheep, goat, etc. Now, as you have all studied about the sources of food, it may be a plant source or an animal source. Now comes how we are classifying animals according to their eating habits, or we can say how we classify animals on the basis of their food habits. First of all, there are the major 6 types of animals like herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, scavengers, decomposers, and your parasites. We are taking them one by one. First of all, we are taking herbivores. Herbivores are the plant eating animals or the plant products eating animals. For example, cow, buffalo, horses, goat, sheep, squirrels, butterflies. All these animals are your herbivores. So what are the specific character which makes them a herbivore? First of all, we considering about the cow, buffalo, horses, goat and sheep. They are having a sharp cutting teeth which helps them to pull the part of the plant from the soil and grind them. Next, squirrels have the sharp front teeth which are known as your incisors, which help them to bite or nibble the food items like nuts and seeds easily. Next, butterfly have a special type of mouth known as a straw like structure mouth, which is called proboscis. Proboscis helps them to suck the nectar from the flower. Next comes the carnivore animals. Carnivore animals are those animals which eat other animals for their survival. For example, lion, tiger, wolf. Some birds are also carnivores. Even snake is also a carnivore animal. So what are the specific features of these carnivore animals? Firstly, if we are considering about the animals like lion, tiger and wolf, they are flesh eating animals and they are having a sharp long pointed canines which you can observe in their mouth easily. So these canines helps them to tear the flesh. Next, some birds like eagle, vulture, owl and hawk, they are having a curved pointed beak to tear the flesh. And next, snake is also a carnivore animal. How they get their food? They having a very flexible jaw structure which helps them to swallow the whole animal or bird or frog, lizard or the egg. Here you can also observe this in the picture. Next comes the omnivorous. Omnivore animals are those animals which can eat plant and animal both. So what are the specific features which make them an omnivore? Actually, they are having such all types of teeth which help them to eat whether a plant or an animal. So here are the examples like a human being, dog, bear or crow. If we considering about the animals, they are having a special types of teeth, or we can they having the all types of teeth which helps them to tear the flesh of an animal also, or to bite the plants also. Along with that, if we consider the bird like a crow, so crow is also an omnivore bird which has a sharp pointed beak to eat both plants and animal flesh. Next, the fourth type of animals are called as scavengers. Scavengers are very eco-friendly animals, or we can say they help in cleaning the environment. Why? Because they eat the dead animals and plants. So the scavengers are like hyena, jackals and your vulture. Next come the decomposers. Decomposers are those organisms that break down or decompose dead and decaying plants and animals are called your decomposers. They also clean our environment. For example, bacteria, fungi, some worms also like millipede, earthworm, they reside in the soil and help in decomposition process. So here comes a question, what is the major difference between scavenger and decomposers? Basically, scavengers directly eat the dead animals, whereas decomposers break down the dead and decaying organic matter. So that is the main difference between these two categories. Next comes the parasitic organisms, or we can say parasites. Parasites are those organisms which live in or on the body of other organisms to obtain food or shelter. For example, mosquito, leech, tapeworm, roundworm, etc. Basically, the organism or an organism on which these animals reside is called your host, and they may live in the body or they may live on the body of the host. If we are considering an example of those organisms or those animals which live on the host body are your mosquito and your leech, and if we are going to consider about the parasites which live inside the body of a host, they are your tapeworm, roundworm, etc. So majorly we can say that parasites just harm the host organism. So here all the categories of the animals are being mentioned you. Now I had given you a homework in which I had given you some fill in the blanks. You can fill these blanks easily by using the hint given below. So thank you. That is the completion of the chapter.